This is Truth Be Told. Hi, and welcome to Truth Be Told. I'm excited for today's episode. We have the ladies at the table. We have our guest host, Jada, joining us today. All right, guys, so since we've been talking about friendship, I was curious if you guys think social media relationships are friendships, meaning there's no other contact or communication other than, like, comments, DM, text message. Is that real friendship?
No. Period.
I don't know. Are social media affairs real affairs? Because if
my
that's
goodness.
the
Whoa,
thing,
tea spilled.
I didn't even know there was such a thing as a social media affair.
you ever heard of sliding in the DMs? It's going down in the DMs.
That's true.
Oh, I did not know that's what that meant.
So I'm really protective of my social media. So I don't like to... I follow people, but when it comes to allowing people to follow me, I'm very selective, just because, like, it's my life.
Is that why you haven't accepted my friend request?
Oh.
Or are we defining the friendship right now?
Yeah, we're defining
Finding our
it.
friendship now, guys.
That's how you know if you're the friend, if you get her, when you put your request in, if she accepts it. Wait, let me double check and make sure we're friends.
We're friends.
Okay,
We're
just
all
making
Okay,
sure.
applications.
But no,
now.
it's scary. It's a scary world we live in, and I am a little guarded when it comes to that, because when I do share on social media, I like to be authentic and I like to be myself, and people can easily take advantage of that and exploit you and exploit what you have. Not that I have anything like, expensive or anything like that, but like my family, and I have a kid now, and so I try to be mindful of all that. So that's what I mean. I mean, I do follow people who I don't know, and I enjoy their content, sure. Yeah. It's like a gray area. It's kind of hard to define, right? It just it depends on like what you're looking for and what they're looking for. If it's just, I follow a lot of women who have become bloggers, and like I love supporting that, and so I look at them as like a friendship because I enjoy their content and I enjoy like seeing what they're writing about and they're sharing themselves, and so I take something valuable from that, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
I don't know.
To me, though, friendship has to be two ways. Like, that's relationship, but maybe not friendship. But then I have a high standard for friendship, too, which is why I don't have a lot of friends in my life, because... Well, friendship for me, like, I'm all in. Like, if you're, like, my bestie... I'll go to jail for you. I will bail you out of jail. I will be a surrogate.
Oh, yeah, for real.
But real friendship requires something of me, and therefore I expect it to require something of the person that I'm in relationship with. And so I think you can have, like, acquaintances. I, like, started running, and so, like, I will comment on all these, like, runners things because I'm like, they motivate me. And, like, one of them, I DM'd them. I'm like, oh, my gosh, she DM'd me back. And she's awesome. And she was, like, telling me some tips and tricks on training. But, like, she's not my friend. She's an acquaintance. I've never met her. I've never touched her. I've never cried with her. I've never laughed with her. And to me, I'm, like, I'm a little bit old-fashioned. I'm, like, the oldest one on the panel. So I'm a little bit, like, I feel like...
I know, bear.
But I do feel like there's really... I think friendship, the word friendship, is overused these days. I'm like, I don't know if we're really friends with half the people we say we're friends with.
So is it generational? Because I define friend, like, I'm more accepting of being, like, using the word friendship. And,
Right.
And so it takes a little bit less. Now, like, besties, or, like, bestie girl, or sister friend, all those kind of things.
Oh, there's different tiers.
There's
Wow.
Can we go see a tree?
So-
I
I
need
need
a
to
tree
be
of your
that
friends.
cool.
Listen, there are tiers.
There are tiers.
I love this.
So, I don't know. I
Yeah.
just wonder, like, maybe, I don't know.
Well, I kind of categorize my friendships in, I'm like, they're acquaintances, or they're a mutual friend, and then there's, like, my friends, and then I actually, for the first time ever in my life, I have a couple girls that I'm like, they're my best friend. And I've never, ever done that because I think I just never believed that they loved me as much as I cared for them, too. And so I'm like, I think we all have tiers in our life for, like, how we categorize our friendships and acquaintances and people that were, like, I'd go really deep with them, and I'd feel like I could have a really vulnerable conversation with them. And then there's other ones where I'm like, how are you? Great. Like, good catching up. it's been happy the whole time, but I have friends where I'm like, we're crying together, we're vulnerable together. But I think on Instagram, they're called followers and following for a reason.
Good point.
But
If I could do that,
They're
But-
followers.
That's a good point.
But I think, like, I've exchanged likes and I do follow a lot of, like, artistic people or fashion people, and they respond, but I'm not, like, we're friends now. And I don't ask them, are we friends now? But I think that it's okay to have that kind of connection, but I know people who are bloggers, and they're quite they have quite a following on Instagram, and they've become best friends with people where they actually go and take that leap from digital to in person, and they make that intentional decision to pursue a friendship off of social media. And I think that's when it's actually a friendship, when there's like an effort put in besides like the convenience of a screen.
Yeah.
I think it's how you view social media as well, because social media for me is like, it's a bit about marketing, it's a bit about business. Like, I post like maybe once a week. Sorry, I'm trying to get better at that. Kristen is like my mentor. But like, I don't view social media as a friendship platform. Yeah. I'm not really trying to make, like, people who know my social media life, they don't know me. Because I'm not that vulnerable on social media. That's just not where I choose to focus that time and energy. And so I'm kind of like, well, we can comment backwards and forwards, but you don't really know me that well, because my view of social media is like, this is me, this is all of me, because it's not. Like, it's just fun for me. It's not like...
Honestly, even the people who, I mean... they are vulnerable on social media. That's not even true vulnerability all the time either. Like, a lot of the time it's just them being transparent.
Yeah.
And there's a difference.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like that's exploited right now. You know, it's like, please have a connection with me. And then it doesn't even feel like the connection is that special all the time, or you know,
sincere.
But or sincere. Sincerity is, and even the heart behind it, the motivation behind it, you know, is interesting.
Because how would you know? You don't know someone's intentions when they're speaking out online. You know, I think that's hard. And that's why I'm very selective, because I'm like, okay, when I do choose to show a part of my life, I want to make sure that the people that I'm sharing that with appreciate it and know me well enough-ish. I don't let, like, fitness bloggers follow me or whatever, because they're trying to they're trying to get something from me that is not genuine. It's like making money and things like that, which is, that's their business, and like, I don't want to be a consumer of that. And so I think, like, I don't know, I view it so differently. Maybe it's the young age, and I haven't, like, experienced the, like, business of, it's like about marketing and it's about this, but I don't know. I try to think about, like, people's intentions and what I can do on my end. And so I block and make sure that I'm being aware of, like, who I let see me.
Well, I was just going to say, it sounds like your relationship to social media then is one of connection, and you already have to approve your friends, so therefore you are choosing who you're bringing into your life. So the way that you're viewing it is like, this could be a tool for potential friendships or relationships and stuff like that, because you're very selective. So I think, whereas mine is like, oh, this is a business and it's fun and it's a hobby. Like, I'm not going to put a ton of information about my family. I might put a cute pic here and there, but it's not. So I have a different view of it, and therefore I don't really think I'm going to make a lot of friends that way. But if I was maybe had the same view that you did, and I was a lot more selective, then I can totally see how that would change your perspective of like finding friends on social media and connecting.
Yeah, I think that was a good point. I think the thing for me with social media is like, you're only getting a glimpse of the reality of a person. Like, you're only getting a glimmer of truth of who they are. So for me, if I'm thinking of a friend, to me, I want to know that person. Like, I want to know the good, the bad, the ugly. I want to, like you guys were saying, laugh with them, cry with them. Like, I really value connection. I am an introvert, like your husband. And so for me, it's like, I'd rather have one amazing friend than have a bunch of people that I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like life to me is so full when you have rich relationships, like real rich relationships. Like, so I love conversations like this because for me, it's like if I can get someone who is honest and vulnerable and just who they are, even if it gets ugly, because I can have my ugly things, right? Like that to me is where like the sweet spot is.
Yeah.
And those are the relationships I gravitate towards the most. So for me, Instagram or social media would not be the way. Now, it could be a connection, like where I meet someone, like kind of like what you're saying, like maybe I might have someone who I connect with over social media, and just because we have that vibe, like maybe I end up meeting up with them and like then we become friends. Like I could totally see that happening. But myself, I use it to just kind of give people a glimmer of my life, mostly for business, mostly for just kind of that kind of like kind of surface stuff, but for me,
Neutral
it's like,
ground.
yeah, if you're gonna get to know me, then you're gonna get to know me. You know what I mean? Like
And
we're
I'm
gonna
like,
have some stake in the game.
Yeah, and I'm like
So-
on my terms.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like boundaries around that. Like
Yes.
and
Yes.
so
yeah.
maybe that's not fair, or I don't know. Maybe that's not fair for the receiving end, but that's like that's the boundaries I put around myself. And like social media, it's a scary place. Social media is a really hard
I think
place.
that's the beauty of social media, though.
Yeah.
It can be something different
for everyone.
for everyone,
Yep,
and
I
whatever you
agree.
need it to be,
Yeah.
then
Yes.
it can be that. You know,
So true.
Yeah.
So true. All right, you guys, we would love to hear from you. We would love to hear about what you think friendship is. Do you think you can make friends on social media? What does that look like? We would love to hear from you. So comment below and let us know your thoughts on that. We want to bring content that you guys love. So if you have any suggestions on any topics or questions for our host, let us know that as well. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time. Peace, love.